What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Mar.
I'm Tay, and over the last 4 years, we built an 8-figure Amazon wholesale business.
So if you're looking to grow and scale your Amazon business, make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about 2 particular products that did not work for us. These were nightmare situations, and we just want to break down that it's not all good in this business. There's also that bad comes with it, and the first particular product was a grocery product.
Yeah.
It was a dip, right?
Yeah.
It was a cheese dip, and we purchased this product the first week we moved into our warehouse. And that's what made it a bigger nightmare situation, because we thought warehouse was gonna be a walk in the park, and that was not the case, right? We learned soon enough that it's a whole different monster and a whole different business model to run a warehouse. So not only do we have to learn how to run a warehouse efficiently, we ordered a product that didn't sell as much as we thought it would, because we didn't know how to read variation listings at the time. I think we intended to order a month's worth of inventory, but it took us 7 months to sell through that inventory, right?
Yeah, and this is a grocery product. So as you know, grocery products, their expiration date, it was a cheese salsa dip that we definitely had to eat a little bit of, but It definitely took us a few months to get rid of this inventory. So like Tay mentioned, we were learning how to prep and pack. It was a glass item too, which if you have ever packaged glass items to ship, it's a nightmare. So we were learning that, and then we over-ordered based on not knowing how variation listings worked on Amazon. So if you do sell on Amazon, make sure you understand variation listings. Those are the listings that have multiple different products, usually different flavors or sizes under the same listing. One tip we always recommend to people is go to the reviews and check the reviews to see how many reviews, recent reviews, that variation has. General rule of thumb is for every 1 review, that generally equates to about 100 sales. So that'll give you a timeline of how many sales between the 2 reviews for that product.
Absolutely, and what Lamar just told you took us thousands of dollars to learn that, by the way. So don't take that lightly. But yeah, it was just a nightmare situation. And like you said, the glass products, not only did we not know how to prep them properly, because we did get a lot of returns and customer complaints because of broken glass. So it was just bad all across the board, but we learned so much from it. We learned how to read variation listings. We learned how to prep glass products. We learned warehouse operations. We created a warehouse system just off that shipment. It was growing pains for us, but come to looking back at it, we are glad that it happened. And it could have been way more costly, by the way, than it was.
One other thing we learned from that experience was you want to have, in this business model, you want to have different offload channels, that being different ways to sell your product. So don't solely rely on Amazon US, just because they're always changing the rules, things are always happening. You want to make sure you have those other offload channels, other e-commerce channels, Shopify, eBay, Walmart, maybe even retail stores in your local area that might have interest in the product. Just ways that you can get rid of the product in case things don't work out the way that you anticipate on Amazon.
Absolutely. So that was the first product, and like we said, it was a bad experience for us, but we learned a lot from it. The second product was a completely different purchase. The first product was from a supplier. It was a national supplier. It was very easy. The second one was a brand direct deal. This was a little more complicated because of the terms, because it was a whole new ballpark, right? Going brand direct and ordering from a supplier are 2 different things. Brand direct is basically you're managing a brand, you're building up a brand on Amazon, and this brand that we took in, we were so eager to work with a brand that we jumped the gun. We didn't understand how to properly negotiate a brand deal, to work out proper terms, and really look at the market and do our market research.
So this was a seasonal item. Mind you, this is the same year, so we were making our fair share of mistakes. There are definitely more than these 2, but these ones definitely stick out. It was an electronic item. It was a kid's toy, like a robotic toy. Luckily for us, it was around the holiday season. So when we first started selling it, the sales were through the roof. I remember some days I believe this was maybe our first 5-figure day we had with this product, and it was exciting for everyone here. But things quickly went the other direction. What happened with this product is it was a new product, and when you see new products on Amazon, they don't have a lot of history.
Yeah.
So what happened was a lot of customers were buying it, anticipating that their kids would love it, and they were gifting it to other children. And the reviews came back, and the product was it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
So as soon as those reviews came back, and that product received like a pretty low rating, which is under 4, which generally speaking, if you shop on Amazon like I do, if you see something with an under 4 rating, you're probably not gonna buy it. So we were getting a whole lot of returns, sales dropped, and we were just stuck with inventory. It was very difficult to move, especially going out of the holiday season. So definitely one takeaway from that was definitely be careful with holiday and seasonal items. You make sure that you don't get stuck with them, because then you have to wait a whole year for that season again.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we still have 1 or 2 units of these items in the back. It was an electronic item. And like Samar said, we didn't really do our market research, because this was an item that taught kids different languages. And this was in a time where every single kid had an iPad in their hand. So they were learning through their iPad, like my nieces, my nephews, they learn through their iPad. They have apps that teach them a different language. So why would they go to a robot, right? When they're addicted to the iPad, and the iPad's always stuck in their hands. So we didn't really think that through either. On top of that, like we said previously with the last product, it taught us a few lessons, right? With this product, obviously it taught us about seasonality, purchasing new products, but it also taught us how to negotiate terms with brand owners. This time around, we told the brand owner, hey, we'll pay for your ad campaigns on Amazon. We'll do it all for you. Those ad campaigns really cost a lot of money. Those PPC campaigns cost a lot of money, especially since a new product. Sometimes with these new products, they might be ranked well, but the brand owner is pumping a lot of advertising dollars behind it. Yeah. And some more times than not, they're unprofitable because of their ad spend. So, we put a lot of ad dollars into it. We didn't do our market research, but we learned from that brand deal how to negotiate terms, net 30 terms, net 60 terms of brand owners. Hey, we'll pay you when we sell the item. We'll pay you in 60 days. We're not gonna run ads for you. You're gonna have to run ads for your own products. So that really helped us, just like the previous product.
Yeah, and one thing to take in mind is when there's a newer product on the platform, on Amazon, you definitely wanna be a little wary about onboarding too many units of it, just because the product doesn't have enough history. You don't really know how it's actually going to sell. You just know that maybe it has a lot of hype around the product, so sales are pretty high. But until you start getting those reviews and seeing those consistent months of data, it's very difficult to really understand how well the product's going to do in the marketplace. So always be careful when you see those newer products, and do test orders, do smaller amounts of units, just to make sure you don't get stuck with inventory.
Yeah, and we went over test orders in our previous videos too, so we're not gonna get into that now, but it's very important to do test orders. And this was a high ticket item. This probably cost like $200.
Yeah, almost $200.
$200 for the item. Yeah. We are way in over our heads for this one. This is when we first started too, so, but we wanted to just, like we said, it was a learning lesson. We took it as spending money on our education. That's all it was. And now we have plenty of brand deals. We structured them right, and we're still working with these brands since that day.
Yeah, one thing to note, brand deals definitely, you generally get better margins because you're dealing direct with them. You don't have that middleman in between you and the brand. So you definitely can see better margins there, but you just want to make sure you structure those deals right. Because one thing you don't want to do is put a lot of time and effort into building up these listings for the brand. And next thing you know, when they're doing well, they have an out. They can take all of that work that you did and either give it to somebody else or in-house it for themselves, and you're pretty much left holding the bag after doing all that work. So make sure when you are dealing with brands, you have some kind of things in the contract that allow you to either retain their business if you hit certain markers, or an out where they have to pay you to exit that contract deal.
Absolutely. Just negotiating those terms is very important. And like we said, hopefully, shining a light on our mistakes helps everyone alleviate these mistakes. But another thing I want to bring up is the mistake we also made in the beginning is going brand direct also. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to go brand direct, because like Samar said, you have to recreate these listings, learn how to run PPC. If you just took all that energy and just went the supplier and distributor route, you could have grew your business to the point where you could hire employees, right, and really put in that effort going brand direct. Now you got an entire team working on that brand, in the listings, in the PPC campaigns.
We definitely saw a lot more success when we started going directly to suppliers and distributors. Maybe the margins dropped a little bit, but we were able to place much larger orders and scale our business a lot quicker than trying to negotiate and build these brand direct deals. Nowadays, we do have a team large enough and systems in place where we're able to make those proposals to them. But when you first get started, if you're gonna operate a wholesale business, we definitely recommend going to suppliers and distributors first.
Absolutely, and just because you also don't have the knowledge, of Amazon, you don't know how listings work, you don't know how titles work or bullet points work or PPC campaigns work. When you first start Amazon, for you to even provide value to a brand, when you get more experience, that's when you could go out to brands and you could speak more confidently to brand owners to bring them value. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully us pointing out these two mistakes points out, the good and the highs and the lows of Amazon and being business owners and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, hopefully this helps you. These were definitely not our only two mistakes, so we're gonna go back to the drawing board and see if we can come up with some additional ones that may help you avoid some of the downfalls that we had along the way.
Absolutely, and if you're looking for more content, more value, please subscribe to our channel.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.